Well, for more on growth of what has been considered one of America's favorite pastimes, I am joined by Dae Hee Kwak. He is the Associate Professor of Sports Management at the University of Michigan. He joins us live from Ann Arbor. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We should be talking about Final Four. I know you're excited about that, but first let's talk about baseball. It has been gaining popularity outside of the United States. China specifically gaining, is this a trend we're going to see? I mean, it's got a lot of room to grow, but could it ever be as big as basketball in China?
That's a good question. With the popularity of baseball in China, you probably want to see more people playing baseball in China to talk about the potential growth in Chinese market. Just like with what the NBA has had exponential growth with the Yao Ming, you want more people to play, know the game, know the players, and more importantly, you got to appreciate the value of the sport, the baseball. So I think that would be a starting point to gain some traction in Chinese market.
Yeah, but we are seeing something like 80 colleges are now going to play baseball if they have a breakout player like Shohei Otani. What could that do?
Definitely, you want to have some the local homegrown players to compete at the big leagues. That will definitely help to gain media interest and media attention from Chinese market. And you can think about some of these high-profile players from Asia, Ichiro Suzuki, some Chan-Ho Park played in the big league, which they not only help enhance the interest from Japan and Korea, but also help the MLB in selling additional media rights to those countries.
It's interesting, too, because Major League Baseball just sunk a ton of money and plans to build academies in China. They clearly see that as a potential growth market. How will it pay off and when?
I think the MLB is heading in the right direction. I think they're following what the NBA has done with China. They understand it's not going to be a year or two. It's not going to be a short-term investment, but it's a long-term process to really build the youth to have these Chinese students play and enjoy baseball when they're young. So with this $1 billion investment, with having more than 20 development centers around China, I think that will be that will make a remarkable the growth potential down the road.
You know, it's interesting because driving around the country, you can see basketball courts virtually everywhere. Now, Facebook does plan to broadcast games, and being able to see these games day in and day out, what kind of dynamic is that going to bring?
From the MLB standpoint, definitely they want to attract more younger audience where the media habits is changing. The people don't watch 3 hours of games on television, so they're shifting towards the different multiple screens or different platforms. And Facebook made the choice to engage with their users, billions of users every day, to keep them engaged with the platform, Facebook. So it's not just a Facebook. The Twitter also joins the bidding war to have some live streaming content. Also, Amazon is now streaming the Thursday Night Football. So you'll see more tech companies and social media network providers joining the bidding war to have a little piece of the live streaming on their the platform. You
know, we talked a bit about Shohei Otani, and he's coming, obviously with so much fanfare. And there was questions of whether he would even make the MLB roster to start out. How much will his success help or hurt or have any effect on baseball in Asia?
That's a great question. I think the success of Otani will eventually help the growth of the game in Asia. I don't think it will hurt because the point you're bringing in is actually, I can see from when Ichiro Suzuki decided to join the MLB 14 years ago, there were some concerns about the same exact concerns. You're losing your superstar from the Japan's baseball league, but in the long run, you didn't see a drop or decrease in the overall attendance in the baseball in Japan. So I think in the long run, I think it will eventually help the growth and the interest towards the game even more to see your homegrown player playing in the big league.
Real quickly, we're running out of time, but the Dodgers and the Padres played in China back in 2008. How come they haven't taken more baseball games over there since then in the past decade?
I guess they figured out it's more about the growing the youth. It's more about the nurturing the sport as opposed to having the spectacles going on in China. So maybe that might give some short-term interest. But again, I want to point out that how the NBA did with having a long-term strategy to really build the sport, build a strong base for this participant level. I think the MLB just shifted their strategy to focus more on the grassroots.
And those are both entities with very deep pockets. Dae Hee Kwak, Associate Professor of Sports Management at the University of Michigan. Thanks very much. We hope that you're right on money on that one.